We are so excited that you've chosen to volunteer on Upstreet and our large group environment. We might be biased, but we think it's the most fun place to volunteer on a Sunday. I mean, where else? Are you gonna volunteer to have water gun wars with kids on stage, or surprise them as they bite into a caramel covered onion? Or see them jump and spin as they learn about God's unchanging truth through song, or have the Bible come to life with an 8-foot Goliath bursting through a door? Large group has it all. We're carrying the most important message of all time, that God loves us and that Jesus will change your life. And if we can deliver that message in unforgettable ways while kids are having fun, well then they're gonna keep coming back week after week. There are two main parts to the Upstreet experience. Large group, the 30-minute production with an onstage host and worship singers and a communicator, and then small group, the circle of kids that sit with a consistent leader each week who helps them explore and grow in their faith. The large group production is where kids hear truth and wisdom, but it's the small group circle where we believe life change happens. The purpose of large group is really to set up a small group leader to have great conversations about faith with those kids in their circle. If large group is fun, but the message isn't clear, then the small group conversations after the production are gonna be a little difficult. But if the large group production is fun, the worship energetic, and the communication unforgettable, then we've cleared the path for that small group leader to connect the dots on why God's truth still matters to a kid's everyday life and friendships. When large group volunteers knock their role out of the park, then we set up small group leaders to do the same. Upstreet is a team effort, and we need both large group and small group volunteers to make it an incredible environment. So, where does large group fit into the Upstreet experience? Well, I'll show you that using a tool we call the Rules of Engagement. The Rules of Engagement are a grid through which we design how we want all kids to experience the hour with us. The purpose of the Rules of Engagement is to capture the attention of every child from the time they walk into our doors until the time they walk out of our doors, whether it's their first time or 100th time with us. Think of it like a funnel. The beginning of the hour is the wide end of the funnel, where we're having fun and engaging every child no matter where they are in their faith journey. And throughout the hour, through games, activities, and a relationship with their small group leader, we work to earn their trust in order to move them to the smaller end of the funnel, where we have the influence to sit with them in a circle, open the Bible, and teach them who God is and how He wants them to live. The large group portion of the Upstreet Hour is the very middle of the funnel, moving kids from fun to truth to why that truth matters and how they can apply it to their life. The production is an important part of Upstreet, so we're gonna work hard to make sure that you feel equipped and comfortable in your role and you're able to succeed. As a production volunteer, you're gonna get the benefit of working with an incredible team. You gotta get to know these guys. Connect with them relationally, because serving will always be more fun when you're doing it with friends. Each large group environment will have a producer who will lead and encourage your team through every detail of a Sunday production. This team will be important as you encourage, support, and pray together each Sunday. As a production volunteer, it's important that every time you sit in that tech booth or you hit the stage, you execute that production as if that room of kids have never seen it before. Because one thing we know to be true is that every Sunday is someone's first Sunday. So serve each week with the same intention, same energy, and same excitement. Upstreet is a blast, and the large group production is a huge part. We could not be more thankful to have you on our team to help pull every Sunday together. Imagine a kid who walks out of church and says to their family, "I can't wait to come back to church next week." I don't know about you, but many of us probably didn't say that as a kid. But that's what you get to create. An experience each week that's fun, unforgettable, and creates a space where God moves through you to change the life of a child forever. Welcome to Upstreet. We're glad you're here.
Did anyone sign up to volunteer in Upstreet to push some buttons, move some faders, and peace out before the traffic gets bad in the parking lot? Okay, well, how about this? What if I told you that what you do on Tech Team each week is so much more than you might think? And while hitting all the cues in the script is an essential part of your role, it's understanding why hitting the buttons at the right time matters. And this is how you move from being a button pusher to a vital part of the production team. See, each person on the team is working together each week to create an engaging and memorable large group experience. And in order for this to happen, you must understand that your role is just as important as any volunteer on the stage. In fact, I want to talk about the 5 things that you can do to create a great Upstreet production. And the first thing is know your win. Now, the win for the tech team is to enhance the large group experience through sound, lights, and video without distracting the audience. Now, there are multiple parts of the large group experience, from the host on stage welcoming kids into the room and playing a game, to a group of singers singing songs that teach kids how to worship and tell them who God is, followed by a communicator who shows kids that stories written down thousands of years ago apply to their lives today. And guess what? Every single part of this production has some sort of technical element woven into it. Now, what we attempt to do in large group would not be possible without you and your tech team role. You see, a communicator could stand on stage with some lights turned on and tell the kids that they can trust God no matter what, but when the tech team adds flashing lights and storm audio cues, then the communicator can take kids to the moments during a storm when they might be scared and tell them that yes, even when they feel afraid during a storm, they can trust God no matter what. Because of the ways you enhance the message, you make it memorable for kids. All right, number 2, come prepared. This requires you to know the script. Now, it's important you review the script before you show up on a Sunday. Because if you're a graphics volunteer and you look at the script during the week, maybe you see that there are multiple CG slides. Then you can plan for the rehearsal and make sure you connect with the host or communicator. Then you'll know exactly when each of these graphics need to be on the screen. Then during the rehearsal, together with the producer, you can practice the timing and clean up any transition that wasn't smooth. Now, another part of your preparation is to cross-train on all the tech equipment and computers, to know how to fill in for another tech volunteer when they're not there, or to help out backstage, managing timing, managing props, getting volunteers on stage at the right time, and minimizing the time between transitions. See, understanding all the roles within the tech team is crucial to our ability to execute a well-run rehearsal and a well-run large group each week. And speaking of rehearsal, that's our number 3, participate in rehearsal. Rehearsals are essential. Rehearsals are how we minimize distractions. And distractions are a big deal because when kids get distracted, it's very difficult to get them re-engaged. During a rehearsal, you have the opportunity to connect with the onstage volunteers, to practice timing, to practice all your cues, and make sure that you execute them when the person on stage is expecting them to be delivered. And this is how you can, number 4, execute with excellence. You see, missing a cue is a big deal. We want to build a bridge between the tech booth and the stage. We want the people on stage to know they can trust us and know that we're following along and know what's coming next. Kids will notice when we are late or sloppy because when kids are watching TV at home or on a device, cues are not late or missed. We are competing against what they see every day on TV or what they digitally experience from billion-dollar companies that pump out content by the minute. And while we aren't a billion-dollar company, we do have the most important message to share. We must do our best to avoid distractions and create the best large group experience possible so that we can tell them about Jesus. So it's easy to think, it's no big deal, it's just kids. But it's that much more important because it is kids. And we know that kids are easily distracted. This is why minimizing distractions is so crucial. And understanding this is how you begin to own your role. Now, you can take this ownership to the next level when you do number 5, anticipate feedback. Feedback, it's what takes our large group production to the place where distractions are minimized, and it creates spaces where kids can learn about who God is and how He wants them to live. So be confident to provide feedback to your team. And what I mean by that is, if you're a lighting tech and the host is on stage and they continue to walk into a dark spot, tell them. Say to them, hey, every time you walk on this side of the stage, you move out of the light. What if we put some tape on the stage there to keep you from being in the dark? Or if a singer keeps moving the mic away from their mouth and you can't hear them, tell them you are a part of the team. So when an on-stage volunteer shows up prepared and follows the script, they set you up for success because you can anticipate where they are, where they're going, and what cue comes next. So when you're prepared and execute a cue, they expect it, and you set them up for success as well. It's a partnership, and we need each other. These partnerships, they're better when the people involved are friends. So get to know your team on a personal level. Think, how can you connect relationally with your team? You will feel more confident to deliver feedback to your teammates when you know them. Then the feedback to each other will feel less critical and more like we're in it together. We're all working together to make large group great. And when you know your team members care for you, then when they have feedback for you, it'll feel more encouraging and constructive. So when it comes to feedback, ask for it, give it, and anticipate it. Your role makes large group fun, irresistible, and transformational every week. And let's face it, Upstreet would be boring without you.